Hello folks. James Bond is editing the past. He's not happy with how he acted back then, so he's got the old eraser out and is trying to redo his early thoughts. Well, he isn't. The company who now owns Ian Fleming's work is. According to the UK's Telegraph, James Bond novels have been rewritten to remove a number of racial references from Ian Fleming's work. It's all ahead of April this year, when the James Bond novels are being reissued to mark 70 years since Casino Royale. There it is there. According to the report, Ian Fleming Publications Limited, the company that owns the literary rights to the author's work, commissioned a review by sensitivity readers of the classic texts under its control. A disclaimer will now accompany the reissued text, which will read, "This book was written at a time when terms and attitudes which might be considered offensive by modern readers were commonplace." Well, Derrrrr. Do people not know this when they open up an old book and see that it was published in 1953? Why do they need a disclaimer spelling out the bleeding obvious? Who are these sensitivity readers who have found issues when it comes to race, but all the violence, sexism and misogyny that James Bond is known for remains? The company is underestimating the intelligence of its readers. People know how time and history works. So let's go to the reported passages that were deemed so offensive and in need of amending. Live and Let Die, written in 1954. Bond describes Africans in the gold and diamond trade as pretty law-abiding chaps, I should have thought, except when they've drunk too much. That's been changed to pretty law-abiding chaps, I should have thought. So they've taken out the drinking reference. I'm sorry. What's racist about that? Doesn't everyone drink? Another scene in the book at a strip club in Harlem was originally Bond could hear the audience panting and grunting like pigs at the trough. He felt his own hands gripping the tablecloth. His mouth was dry. Well, that's unacceptable. So that's been revised to Bond could sense the electric tension in the room. So let me get this straight. The above passages aren't cool, but killing people is okay. Right. Got it. I have to be honest with you, I have never read a James Bond book. I have no intention of ever reading one. No one reads James Bond books, and that's the point. Folks, let me tell you something here. This has nothing to do with racism. This is all about money. Publicity stirs up attention. Attention leads to sales. Ian Fleming Publications even says so. In its statement, it reads, "We encourage people to read the books for themselves when the new paperbacks are published in April." This appears to be another pointless trip down the moronic wormhole that tries to please the wokesters of today. Didn't the publisher of Roald Dahl just learn a lesson from this? They ended up backflipping because they were taking too much heat from both the left and the right. That's when you know you've really stuffed up. But rather than back down, Penguin Random House is making a version of each of Roald Dahl's books, a classic and an updated edition. Now, I'm no Einstein, but which one do you think people are going to buy? The version Dahl wrote and actually wanted, or the woke one? And if you go for the woke one, then you're part of the problem. Where does all this end? To satisfy the woke brigade, will musicians have to edit lyrics in the future? Or will movies have to be edited to take out any line that someone, somewhere, found offensive? It's ridiculous. But cancel culture has everything and everyone in its sights. Here's comedian Bill Burr's take on that.
It was this kind of hilarious moment, like last year, where they started to try and cancel, like, dead people. Remember that? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, like, John Wayne was trending. I'm like, what, they got some found footage? You got a new movie coming out that maybe they shelved? And all of a sudden, it was all these stupid, woke white people, right? Oh my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? This is a bunch of white people, all up in arms, about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years, John Wayne. saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore.
You've got to laugh. Because it feels like 1984 is catching up fast to 2023. Thanks for watching, folks. To support this channel, please like, share and subscribe below. See you next week.